So friends, just as Donald Trump was about to have to pay E. Jean Carroll the $83 million a jury awarded her for what they found Donald Trump did to Miss Carroll, somebody stepped in and saved Donald Trump by putting up a bond for the full amount of the judgment plus interest so Donald Trump wouldn't have to pay the judgment while he appealed the case. That's right, somebody came to Donald Trump's financial rescue. Who? Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, Donald Trump's $83 million bill was about to come due. He was within just a few days of having to pay out on a jury award. A jury found that Donald Trump both sexually battered and defamed E. Jean Carroll. Indeed, two juries found that he defamed E. Jean Carroll several times over, and they ordered him to pay $83.3 million in damages to Miss Carroll. And he was virtually on the eve of having to pay out that money judgment, but at the last minute, somebody stepped up, posted a bond, and guaranteed that Donald Trump would pay the amount in full if he lost his appeal. And it was only by somebody stepping in at the last minute and doing a solid for Donald Trump, giving him that bond, guaranteeing payment. It is only because of that Donald Trump is actually able to take an appeal of this case without having to pay the judgment to Miss Carroll. Let's start with the new reporting. This from the New York Times. Headline, Trump posts $91.6 million bond for defamation judgment in Carroll case. And that article begins, Donald Trump on Friday posted a $91.6 million bond in a defamation case he recently lost to the writer E. Jean Carroll, staving off potential legal and financial disaster just days before a deadline to secure the deal. The bond, provided by an outside insurance company, will prevent Miss Carroll from collecting the judgment while Mr. Trump appeals. A federal jury awarded Miss Carroll $83.3 million in January, and Mr. Trump recently asked that the judgment be paused. The judge presiding over the case, Lewis Kaplan, denied Mr. Trump's request for a preliminary reprieve, putting pressure on Mr. Trump to either come up with the money himself or secure the bond. With a Monday deadline looming, Mr. Trump posted the bond, which is higher than the $83.3 million judgment because the former president is also responsible for interest. The bond is a promise from the company offering it, Federal Insurance Company, an arm of the insurance giant Chubb, to cover Mr. Trump's judgment if he loses his appeal and fails to pay. In exchange, Mr. Trump must pay the company a premium and pledge collateral, including as much cash as possible. Miss Carroll's lawyer, Roberta Kaplan, declined to comment on Friday. Miss Carroll herself called the bond a stupendous amount in a social media post. And this quote from author, columnist, and the woman who pretty much mopped the floor with Donald Trump in litigation, E. Jean Carroll. Quote, though the illustrious Robbie Kaplan is strong enough to yank a golden toilet out of the floor at Trump Tower and toss it through the window, this bond saves Robbie the trouble of showing up with the U.S. Marshals on Monday to do so, Miss Carroll wrote. The terms of Mr. Trump's bond deal have not been publicly disclosed, but bonding companies often charge a fee of anywhere between 1% and 3% and require enough collateral to cover the bond. Chubb, the insurance company, in a statement said it did not comment on client-specific information, but that it provided appeal bonds in the normal course of business. Quote, "These bonds are an ordinary and important part of the American justice system, protecting the rights of both defendants and plaintiffs," the company said. Judge Kaplan, in a brief order Friday, gave Ms. Carroll until 11 a.m. Monday to file any response to the proposed bond, and said that if she had any opposition to its form or amount, the judge would hold a hearing that afternoon on the matter. So friends, we'll know on Monday morning whether Ms. Carroll's lawyers have any objection to this bond arrangement, or if they want a hearing, if they want more information so they can be completely satisfied that Donald Trump is good for it. This bond arrangement will guarantee he'll pay the full amount when he ends up losing the appeal. But in the meantime, I think a fair question is, who is this person? Who is this company that's willing to do business with Donald Trump, willing to support him, to prop him up, to guarantee that, yes, Donald Trump will pay the full amount of the judgment in the event he loses the appeal, right? Who is willing to gallop in at the last minute and save Donald Trump from his imminent financial fall? Well, some reporting by the New Republic sheds a little bit of light on the question of who decided to step up and step in and support Donald Trump. Remember, Donald Trump, who is a self-avowed day one dictator. His words, this from the New Republic. "What idiot backed Trump's bond in the E. Jean Carroll trial? This one. Good luck to this man." And that article begins, "Donald Trump raised a lot of eyebrows on Friday when he finally posted bond for E. Jean Carroll's defamation lawsuit against him, amid reports that the former president is broke. Trump posted a $91.6 million bond, which covers the $83.3 million he was ordered to pay in damages for defaming Carroll and interest for putting off payment for so long. He has repeatedly tried to get the deadline to pay delayed or get the total ruling amount reduced, but the presiding judge struck him down every time. But the question on everyone's mind is, how did Trump get that money together? He appears to be struggling to post bond in his multiple lawsuits and reportedly only has about $413 million in liquid assets. That's not nearly enough to cover everything he owes in legal fines. Well, it turns out that Trump may have called in a major favor. Court records filed Friday show that the bond was guaranteed by the Chubb Corporation, an insurance group. In 2018, Trump appointed Chubb's CEO, Evan Greenberg, to a White House advisory committee for trade policy and negotiations. I don't know, friends. Does that feel a little quid pro quo-ish to you? We don't know, because we don't know anything about the terms of this last-minute bond arrangement. We don't know what Donald Trump pledged as collateral to secure the full amount. We don't know if Donald Trump has enough unencumbered collateral that's not mortgaged to the hilt to secure the nearly $100 million payout he eventually will have to make to E. Jean Carroll. We may learn more about all of this come Monday in the event E. Jean Carroll's lawyers ask for a hearing. You know, maybe they want to pull the curtain back a little bit, see what's going on behind that curtain so they can be confident and comfortable that this is all on the up and up, it's all legit, and their interest to the tune of $100 million is fully protected in the event Donald Trump loses the appeal. We may learn more about that at a hearing on Monday, but in the meantime, it looks like, this guy, Evan Greenberg, came to Donald Trump's financial rescue. Now, what is it we know about Evan Greenberg beyond what's reported in the New Republic, that Donald Trump, gave him a sweetheart appointment to a White House advisory committee. It's got to look good on a resume. Well, unless you're in the Trump administration, then maybe not. Well, there's not a whole lot on Evan Greenberg's Wikipedia page, but there are a few interesting entries. He's an American business executive. He's the president and CEO of the insurance company Chubb Limited, formerly Ace Limited. He attended New York University and the College of Insurance, but did not graduate from either. And Greenberg joined AIG in 1975 and worked under his father for 25 years, where he held a number of senior management positions. And there's a little bit more on his Wikipedia page if you care to look it up. But this is the guy, Evan Greenberg, of the Chubb Insurance Group, who came galloping to Donald Trump's financial rescue, posting this mega bond for him at the last minute so he could avoid making the payout to E. Jean Carroll while he appeals the case. Donald Trump, the aspiring dictator, the avowed day one dictator, Donald Trump's words. Donald Trump, who launched an attack on the U.S. Capitol on January 6th to try to stop the transfer of presidential power, to try to override the expressed will of the American voters, to try to unlawfully and unconstitutionally retain the power of the presidency. This is who Evan Greenberg has thrown in with. Well, I am hopeful that we'll learn more about this in the event there is a hearing Monday morning on whether this is on the up and up, whether this is legit, whether it fully protects E. Jean Carroll's interest to the tune of nearly $100 million, such that the full judgment will be paid out when and if Donald Trump loses the appeal. At least I hope there's a hearing on Monday. Because, a little bit of transparency, a little bit of daylight on what Donald Trump is up to financially, like justice, matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.